LLC stands for your limited liability company. Now, you can set up your business in different ways besides an LLC, but the LLC is the most popular, and that's what I would recommend for anyone starting a notary business. Now, when you set up an LLC, you will do it with your state, through your Secretary of State's office. They're going to have an application process. There's going to be a fee associated with it. Sometimes you can do it right online. Sometimes you have to file paperwork and send it in. Most states, for the most part, it's a pretty quick process, but there are some states that take a little bit longer, anywhere from a couple days to a week to get it back. But you want to get that LLC set up properly because it's going to protect you. A limited liability company is exactly how it sounds. It limits liability. Okay, so you as the owner are protected. Your personal assets are protected when you have an LLC. So it's not hard to do. And I think a lot of people, they get into it, it can be, I think the hardest thing for most people is the fear they have of themselves. Like, they're just intimidated and they're scared and they are like, what if I mess up? And it's all in their head. But the actual work itself is so easy. And it's for me. So when I got into it, at one point I was a manager at Qdoba. And I don't know if you eat Qdoba, but that's a lot of work. That's guacamole. That's pico. That's a whole lot of work. That's a whole lot of manual labor. Mm-hmm. That was hard. Okay. This, all I gotta do is look at IDs and sign papers. This is not hard. This is easy compared to what I used to do. Most people's jobs, like, those are hard things to do, especially compared to what you're getting paid. This is easy. It's really simple. It's work, but it's not hard. Yeah, it's not hard. Do you hate your job? Trust me, I've been there. Dreading Mondays, can't wait for Fridays. Did you know you didn't have to live like that? I did for years until I found my notary commission. Now you're probably thinking, how in the world is a notary making great money? I teach you that in my Ultimate Notary Training Bundle. I'm going to teach you how you take a simple notary commission and begin generating 6 figures for yourself and your business. You don't have to stay in the rat race. You can actually live the life that you would love to wake up to every single day. Don't delay. Click the link below, and I'll teach you how to gain time and financial freedom through the notary industry. Join me on. Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did. Hey guys, it's Vanessa Terry here with Notary to Notary, and I want to show you guys how I was able to get started as a notary signing agent making $10,000 a month. When I first got started in 2015, I had no idea how lucrative this business was. So much so that I was able to quit my full-time job in 2016. Over the next few years, I've had so many successes and failures that I took all of them and bundled them up into a training program just for you. The training is available at notarytonotary.com, and there are 2 programs that you can register for: the Notary Signing Agent Training and the e-Notary Training. Make sure that your state licenses e-notaries before you register for that training. Once you register, you'll have instant access to the online training platform, as well as access to our live weekly interactive webinars with replay capabilities. Ready to get started? Register today at notarytonotary.com. Until then, happy signing! Hey guys. Okay, so first let me take this off really quick before we jump into this. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, August 20th, and I'm really excited because I've been putting this on my schedule for a long time to get some of my Built For You students to come on the YouTube channel and talk to you guys about how their progress is going and how they have been able to make progress, make leads inside the Built For You program. So really quick, just bear with me 1 second. I have some really cool things I want to share with you, but first, let me make sure all of my things are ticking the way I want it to tick, Okay. All right, so this is your first time listening to Notary to Notary. My name is Vanessa Terry, and I am a notary of officially 10 years. This month makes 10 years. I have been a 6-figure notary for 8 years. I self-taught myself the industry, and it's something that I started in 2014. This makes my 10th year. By my second year in the business, I was averaging about $10,000 a month as a commissioned notary, doing general notary work, loan closing, and inspections for the most part. I also did do e-notary, apostilles. That's pretty much where I lived. I enjoyed doing it. I quit my full-time job in 2016, and I have been full-time notary since 2016. So 8 years full-time notary. I started Notary to Notary in 2019, and I've been training hundreds and thousands of students across the country how to build successful notary businesses themselves. A little bit more about me. Mama 3, homeschool Mama 3, okay? And I just love learning. I also recently became a loan officer and a real estate agent. So I'm really diving more into the real estate space. But for the past 10 years, I have been just solely notary. And I really enjoy it. People always ask me why. It's because I get to choose when I work. I get to choose how much I get paid. I get to choose if I don't want to go to work today. I get to choose if I'm just not feeling it today. How many of you guys have woken up any day in the past like 3 weeks and just said, you know what? I don't feel like it today. Okay. And if you're not doing something that gives you that flexibility, guess what? You still got to go to work. And so I love that I'm able to say, hey, not feeling it today. Don't want to do it today. Or I can say, I'm going to take a couple of days off, and it just gives you that flexibility to decide when you want to work and how you want to work. Prime example, I was a notary for the bulk of my life in Virginia and just recently relocated to Florida. And if you follow this YouTube channel or any of the social media channels that we have at Notary to Notary, you know that I did a $1,000 notary challenge last year in August, I think it was, or September, where I just picked up and moved to Florida. I didn't have I have a couple people that live here, family members, but not really. And I challenged myself to make $1,000 in a month, not even having my commission in Florida. So it took me 30 days, but I was able to clear $1,000 in 30 days as a when I first got to Florida, I was not even commissioned. So I didn't have my commission for 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to my commission in Florida. And so I made that $1,000 in a 2-week time frame. Okay. And so I say that because if you learn how to build a notary business, you can do it wherever you are. So it's a skill set that even if I'm in Texas, or if I'm in Washington, or if I'm in California, or if I'm in, I don't know, Ohio or Indiana, like our guest today is from our students from Indiana. It doesn't matter where you are, no matter where I go, I have a skill set that I know how to generate revenue for myself. Okay. All right. So that's my story. Also in 2021, I was listed by Forbes. If you go to Forbes and type in Vanessa Terry, it'll come up as the 2021 entrepreneur, changing the way people work, which was a really cool honor to be bestowed upon, because that's when like everyone was like right in the midst of COVID, everyone was getting into loan signing, and it became this huge thing. And so we definitely did a lot helping people across the country get their businesses set up doing notary work. And so that was a really cool honor to have. And I also speak every year for the past 4 or 5 years now at the National Notary Association's conference. And so they have another one coming up this year. It's actually, I think it's in Arizona, or no, Nevada, Las Vegas, I think is where they're going to put it at this year. So it's just a really cool honor. I love this space. I love being able to help people interested in building notary businesses. And I'm sure all of you at this point are here because why? Put in the chat. Why are you here? Is it because you want to do notary work and that's your goal? Like you said, hey, I really want to throw myself into this space. I really want to be a notary. I want to quit my job. That's usually people normally say like, hey, I really want to quit my job. How do I do that? And so it really gives people the opportunity to be able to do something different. I get a lot of people who are also retired and they want to stay busy, or they want to find something else to do just on a day-to-day. But I would say the bulk of people that I end up connecting with are people who, want to have more money First of all, more money. They want to make more money, or they just don't like what they do and they want to find something else to do to generate revenue. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about the Built For You program primarily today. So, like I said, I've been training notaries for the past, I don't know, 4 years, I think it is now. Well, 5 years, 5 years, right in 2019. So yeah, almost 5. And I've talked to a lot of notaries for a long time. And I have tons and tons of notaries who have made 6 figures and have moved on and done great and amazing things. Some of them have even gone on to do other notary trainings or have channels and things like that. And a lot of them will even will highlight, oh yeah, I started off with Notary, or I started off with Vanessa. And it's just been really an honor to help people change their life, you know? And so today I'm going to be interviewing and having you guys hear from one of my Built For You students, and her name is Crystal Watley. Oh, I see she just joined. Yay! Okay, good. I'm really excited. So if you guys don't know about the Built For You program, I'm definitely going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, let me get Crystal out here. Hold on one second, because I know like time is precious, and I want to make sure we're able to hear your whole story. Hold on, give me 1 second. There you are. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect. Yay! Okay, cool. And I was like, I know like you're always busy. It's so funny because I feel like whenever I'm texting, you're like, oh, I'm gonna sign in, or like I'm doing this, but hold on, I'll call you back. So I know you're always busy. So I'm like, I hope I can get her to hop on here. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being able to take some time out to talk to everybody and encourage them because they just need to see that it is possible. You know, and well, first of all, let me introduce you. So, Crystal from Indiana. Okay, so before you were a notary, Crystal, what were you doing, like business, like work-wise?
I worked for the local county here in the recorder's office, actually.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. In Indiana, and what city are you in Indiana?
LaPorte,
Indiana. And so you've been doing that. Or were you doing that and then you quit, or did you retire? Like, how did you transition out of that?
because the boss the head of the actual county recorder lost the election, so I did not like the new recorder coming in, so I was done and went to the trustee's office where my boss is now.
I like that. So like, hold on, I'm gonna go over there where I like to be.
Yeah.
So, and then you found Notary how? So when was the first time? I know they do Notary in the office you worked at, right?
I didn't. It was back in 2012 that I got commissioned. You only had to be 18 and they did a background check. That was it. There was no training. There was no nothing. And before my husband and I got married, my now stepson lost his license because he got in some bit of a trouble. Mm-hmm. So I decided to do that. And that was the last time I had ever notarized because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
So then when I was in the recorder's office in 2017, I think, then I seen all the quitclaim deeds coming in. I started learning about land records working there and all that stuff. So then I was like, And then when the pandemic hit, I'm looking at all, I started finding like you and Notary Business Builder. And I'm like, whoa.
What is
you can actually do this for a living? So I started getting into it real quick. And I'm like, how do I do this? I've got to get into this.
I think a lot of people, like, they think that notaries don't make money. Like, they just think, oh, you just make like $5 here and there. And then, like, when you see it online, they're like, oh, 6-figure notary. It's like, what? Like, what was your first impression when you saw like 6-figure notary? Like, did you think it was possible to do?
No, I thought I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way.
You're lying. And I get that all the time. People are like, how? That makes no sense. Sense. And I remember when you first saw the Built For You program and you enrolled, we talked the very first time. But tell me, when you first saw Built For You, was it the first time you saw Notary to Notary, or had you already been following for a while?
I had actually already been following you, and I took all your courses before the program came out.
Okay, good.
So I was already going through, and, after I finished them, then I was going back through and reviewing and, and I'm like, then you came out with this program and I'm like, ooh, do I really want to do this? And then I'm like, yes.
Yeah, and it's an investment. It's an investment, and you have to take it seriously. Like, if you're going to do it, You know, you have like, and that's the thing I always say. It's like I tell people, like, when you invest in education, you're investing in shortening that learning curve, right? One of the things that we were talking about on your first call is you said that you had like so many trainings, you felt like you were all over the place. Like it was just like, yeah, tell me about that. Like, what were you like? How did you feel all over the place?
Well, I kept going back and forth, and when I first started getting into it, of course, you know, when I first got commissioned, they don't tell you nothing because there was nothing like that when I knew of.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know read your notary handbook.
Yeah.
You know, there was nobody to tell me that. So then I started getting into like Bill Soroka and all them before I found you, and I'm like, nah, I don't know. You know, so I took a few courses and I'm just like, I don't know about this, you know? So I was kind of back and forth, and then I started getting into it more, and then I found you and I took all your courses, and I'm like, wow. I just felt like really overwhelmed, and I'm like, but I've got to do this. And you kept stressing, read your notary handbook, read your notary handbook. So every weekend I'm reading it and going over and going over. I don't care how many times I read it. I
I
just
say it all the time. People don't listen to me. It's really important. It's
and
really important.
the biggest thing that I thought was instant fear that I had. So I think that was holding me back a little bit until I got into when you came out with the Built for You program. And if you remember, I was skeptical. That's why I just did my first notary signing yesterday, loan signing, because I'm like, Vanessa, I don't know about the loan signing part.
And I love that you're continuing to push through. We're going to talk about some of the things that you've been through too. I love, like, on your first call, it seemed like you were a little nervous. Like you had like a lot going on. And you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm jumping into it.
Right.
And I love that. I love that. I said, well, that's all. I said, like, I love your energy. Like you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't know what's happening, but we're going to do it. You know, and that to me is like, if you have like the desire and the go, like the grit to do it, you'll get it done. And one thing too, I will say, and this I say it all the time, you like, and I'm not picking, I'm being really honest. You text me a lot, like you text and email a lot. But one thing I say is those are the ones that end up being successful. Are the ones I can tell you, anyone that I've seen that's gone through my program that's emailed a lot or called a lot or texted a lot, they're really invested and they're like focused and like, okay, how do I do this? Vanessa, help me with this, because you're taking it seriously. You know, and I knew like, and I love them. I can tell when I see someone who's doing that, I know they're locked in. I know they're going to have this down to a science. Like, I know we got this.
And so, then you know my panic modes too, when I'm like,
there was that time you called me. Well, we'll talk about like the time you called me with the lady who was giving you a hard time. And I was just like, you know, just let it roll off your back because you're in business. And guess what? Some of them are going to be butts sometimes. You're going to have people who are just all over the place. And you have to learn, you know, like somebody who works at McDonald's. When somebody comes to the drive-thru, they're going to be nice. The next one might be sad. The next one might be angry. The next one, they're going to talk at all. Like, you don't know who's going to pull up to that window. But if you're in business, you have to serve everybody. And so it's just like, and that's why sometimes people have like, if I'm getting someone who's like a little snippy for them, I'll just say, you know, you can go to your local UPS. And I'll just in case they just want to go, you know. Sometimes you gotta let people go. You gotta let them go fly, you know. But okay, so we got started. Let's just go through how we went through. It's a 13-week program, but of course it goes past 13 weeks because we really want to make sure that you're, you know, everything's solid for you. And so when we first got started, we talked about notary commission, reading the handbook. We went over like setting up your LLC and business foundations. Like it was really just a lock-in on structure and knowing how to operate the business, right? That was really where we focused. Do you feel like anything in that section you learned that you didn't already know?
Right. And that was kind of scary at first too, because I'm like, I went back and forth with that too, because I originally had, before you're like, get an LLC, I did actually go through a doing business as and recorded it with the county recorder. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, the LLC, do I really want to do that? So I went back and forth with that for a while.
But you got to do it. We got to get it done. Yeah. We got to get it done the right way.
And it only took me like 5 minutes to do it. And then I'm like, okay. And then I used your words. Hey, I'm rocking and rolling now.
Yeah, so I'm invested. Let's go. I'm here to show up. And then, okay, so then from there we did your website, and like afterwards, I'll showcase your website so you can see we designed your website, got your profile up. We did your Yelp. Remember when you did your Yelp page? You started getting calls like pretty quickly from that. Tell us about that.
That kind of shocked me because I think that was before the Google and all that went up, and I was actually sitting at my W-2 job. We didn't have any clients going on. We closed early, so I just kind of sat there and worked on and I didn't have it all the way finished at first. And then all of a sudden my phone started ringing and I'm like, what is happening here? And it freaked me out at first. I actually let it go to voicemail and I'm like,
yeah.
I went into panic mode and I'm like, okay, you got to calm yourself down first of all. And then you got to return that phone call right now.
Yeah. And how did your first call go? How did that go?
That actually was pretty good because she ended up being locally here, like the one of the nursing homes that I'm working with.
Mm-hmm.
She was very nice, and actually the social worker had called me beforehand to let me know that this person was going to call. Of course, it doesn't show a name when they call.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she's like, I don't know how to find it. I'm like, well, you already had my card, but she messaged me on Yelp. So maybe she lost the card or something, or wasn't too sure she was going to go ahead with this or whatever. I'm not sure. But there was another one that called me while I was driving because I can hook up my phone to my car so I don't have to, hold it while I'm driving.
Yeah.
It's just been, and a lot of them are from here in LaPorte.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of shocked because, we got the UPS store. There's a couple other notaries that are actually 24/7
Mm-hmm.
that are a little bit closer to them, even though I'm only 10 minutes from them. Mm-hmm. But it's like when that phone starts ringing, it's like, whoa.
And I like that you said that. Because a lot of people, they get discouraged. They feel like, oh, the market's oversaturated. Like don't count yourself out. Don't count yourself out. There's plenty of work for everybody. Plenty of work for everybody. There's no way, even if you did 10 a day, there's more than 10 notarizations happening in your city. I can guarantee it. Okay. So it's just like, put yourself out there. And then too, you made a lot of your first, notarizations through Yelp. Some people get a lot of their first through Google or through any other marketing piece. Like, you never know what piece is going to take off for you. It's a matter of setting them all up, so that way you have success in numbers.
Yeah. And then that first signing that I had was actually from, like, my husband used to work at the South Shore Railroad here. He's retired, and then his buddy Todd is retired. And his wife was actually just retired from Centier Bank, who is in good with Meridian Title here locally.
Oh, good.
So that's where now I'm getting all of them from.
It's all about networking. That's why I said there's so much money out here in the notary space. And like when you first started up, your whole first like actually getting out, you were locked in on general notary work, really heavy. And people sleep on general notary work. They always say, oh, I just want to do loan signing. Loan signing is great, but general notary work is great too because you get paid the same day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the general notary works you've done. I know you hit some nursing homes and some attorneys. So tell us about that. How's that looking for you?
Now I have, actually, when I got home last night, I just got a call from a third nursing home in LaPorte. I have two in Michigan City now who are just 2 seconds apart from each other. Then I got one here in LaPorte now, who I'm Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm like, what?
That's so good.
Now I'm going to LaPorte Hospital to talk to them.
Good.
The head whatever over there. Like I said, now I got Meridian Title. They're kind of booking me up quite a bit now.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing. People always think they have to have tons of clients. You don't have to have like a whole Rolodex. Now we do say expand market reach, but you're going to have your solid set that's going to keep you busy. You know what I mean?
A lot of the general stuff that I've been doing, which has been pretty simple because I'm used to doing them, is just a simple power of attorney.
Yeah.
And that's all it's been, but it's been consistent.
Yeah, and I know you said like you've always have a power of attorney, and you've partnered with a couple of attorneys that are giving you consistent work in that space, right?
Yeah, because they don't, they just do the paperwork and they're like, "Hey, here, can you do this?" Because I'm right next door to a few of them, right there where I do my W-2 job. And my boss is really cool because if there's no client, she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." I'm like, "What?" And I'm getting paid twice, I guess.
Boom. I like it. And then too, okay, I want to hit a couple things because you have a lot of really cool successes that I like to share. You made a lot of money, right? When like in the beginning, like super fast. And I was talking about that. And you made quite a bit of money in the nursing home space, but then you also got one of the nursing homes invited you to teach there, right? To do like a presentation.
Yeah, it was a presentation to because it was an outside thing. It was really nice outside that day. They were having like their bake sale, some kind of fundraiser or whatever. So they wanted me, and they sent up a tent for me and everything to educate their residents and the residents' family members. And I'm like, oh, I've never done public speaking.
Well, before you tell us what you did tell us how much they paid you.
I think that one was. I think that one was 1,000.
Exactly.
Yeah,
To
I was like,
talk.
what?
And that is like actually a common thing. So that's how a couple of my other students, they do that. They actually talk to the nursing homes and get them to have them come teach. And so when you said you got one like so quick, it was like, oh wow, well, look at that. So now tell us what you had to do when you got there.
Well, when I got there, so I set up everything and I just set up like the examples that I had from like different what do you call it? Powers of attorney that you could buy at like Staples or over here local at Kemp's, their office supply stores. And I just showed them like different types of notary certificates that could be out there with different types of that, and I explained to them also that you whoever does these, or if you go to an attorney, they have to know what kind of notarization. I'm then allowed to tell you. Um, like, again, like I'm not an attorney. I can't draw up the documents for you. If you get them offline, sometimes most of the time they will have the attached notary certificate with it, just things like that
Yeah.
while they're eating their pastries. And I'm going, I want some of them too.
And that's one of the nursing homes that keeps you pretty busy, the one that had you speak.
All the time. It's like I'm going there now. I went from 1 day a week to 2 days a week, and now I'm going there 5 days a week.
Wow. So how much do you think you're making like a day with your notary business? I know it fluctuates because some days are busier than others, but if you were to guess, how much do you think you're making on average a day?
Well, being with the loan signings now, I think I'm averaging, well, yesterday was a good day,
I
979 now.
know. So you didn't hear she made 970. We said 975 yesterday. And you said you still had 4 more power of attorneys to do. 900.
And that was at the nursing home. Although I think I'm undercutting myself, so we'll talk a little more about that with these nursing homes.
For sure.
But now I think it's, what did I do? I did something else between speaking now and whatever. I think I'm averaging, some days are slow, so 500 and 1,000
That's good.
a day.
$1,000 a day. That's what I'm saying. And people keep thinking like, you can't make money in this space. I'm like, yes, you can. You just have to work. Like you have to put that work in. And the beautiful thing is that $500 to $1,000 a day, that was primarily general notary work. Primarily, like, we're just getting into loan closing. Like we're just diving into that. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's why I said, like, there are some notaries out there who build their business just doing general notary work. And they just say, well, this is good. I can do this. But I love that you're now saying, all right, let me add on the loan closing piece to this. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. And it's something that's one of my favorite things to do because I don't know why I like it so much. It's fun. I like it. It's fun for me to do.
It is. And what helped a little bit too is I got on this, I don't know, I don't remember. I think she's a California notary. She has these intake sheets. One for specialty notary work, general notary work, questions to ask if they're in a nursing home, if they're like that. And then she's got one for specifically for a reverse mortgage package, just pre-questions. And when you get the package, you can mark off what you have in the package. And some for, just conventional loan
Yeah.
packages, and that really helped me out a lot too, to prepare
Yeah.
and look at what, and plus the instructions you have to read too, you know,
You
so.
gotta read the instructions. How much, so the loan signing that you did, how much did they pay you for that? The one that you got, the first
Uh,
one.
the first one, well, both of them yesterday were 250
A
a piece.
piece?
A
Oh,
piece. I know.
well, that's because you're going right through title, because you're going right through Meridian.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go right through title, they're gonna pay you well. And people are always so afraid to go to title, but title pays very well. But I always say start off with signing services if you're new, just in case, so you can, yada yada. Because when you go to a title company, they're not gonna give you really support. They're not gonna give you instructions. They're more like, hey, just take your package, just the information, go ahead. Signing services more so give you lots of instructions. They want to call you and check on you, and they're like holding your hand throughout the whole thing. And that's why you also split your pay with a signing service, because they have
Right.
to hold your hand. But definitely one of my, when I get a title company, I'm like screaming and shouting because I know I get my full closing fee. And so now that you're with Meridian and they're paying you $250 per closing, if you can get like 3 to 4 in a day, you're already at $1,000. Boom, again,
Yeah.
So wait, now how does your husband feel about this? And how does he feel about all this newfound business and the money you're making?
Are you kidding? He's retired. Of course, he's from Alabama, so he's just coming around. He's going out there and make that money, honey.
I love. Is he gonna do it too? Is he gonna do it too?
No.
He's gonna do it. You gotta get him out here in these notary streets. Y'all gonna be out there notarizing together. Power couple.
The only thing that he will do is like certain areas out here you really don't want to go by yourself to. So he will sit in the car until
Yeah,
I'm out.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's one thing, because he's like, you are not going by yourself there.
Yeah. And that's something that I too like for myself. So I have rules of where I go, when I go where, and definitely after hours. So after hours, there's cutoffs. There are cutoffs, or we can meet at a Panera or a McDonald's, but
Yeah.
it's not going into certain communities. And that's the beautiful thing about having your own business. You can set your own rules, And then one thing that I know we haven't dived hugely into yet, because we're definitely but you're rocking and rolling even without, is the e-notary. I know you're on the platforms, you're getting signed up and you're moving, but that's another option when people say, oh, if it's late or whatever the case is, you can always offer, we can do it as an e-notary. And sometimes you're able to convert them to e-notary. So that's just an option for later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. So we're focusing primarily now, we're big focused on general notary work. So, someone did ask a question. So when you're working with these attorneys on average, what are they paying you to do like an estate package or estate doc?
The estate, my first one was only 150.
Not only, that's a good thing. Not only.
Well, I did have one because then he'd had some extra documents aside from the estate planning. So that one he paid me about 300 for that,
Yeah.
or 350, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Attorneys
So,
are definitely one of my favorites.
well, some of them locally here, they're
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
I now that I'm not personally working for attorneys, because I used to work for attorneys most of my adult life in Chicago, they're really hard to work for because they're not nice people.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
And some of them just, I'm only going to pay you this much and that's it. If not, I'll find somebody else. Well, then you can go find somebody else.
Yeah. No, I get that. And that's the beautiful thing. It's your business. So you get to pick and choose. But you said the first one paid you 150. And then what's your average now that you're getting?
My average is between about 150 and 250.
Okay. And how long does it take you to do them when you're there?
Now I'm down. It used to take me about an hour, a little over an hour.
Okay.
Now,
That's okay.
Yeah. Now I've got it down to 35, 40 minutes because it just goes so quick with some of these. Well, I'm not going to say it. So far, I have not had a client where it has been difficult. So I've been able to go quicker because they've already went over it with the attorney and they're like, yeah, I understand. I'm like, oh, you're easy.
But the thing I want you to think about too, because you said, well, sometimes it's an hour, over an hour. To be getting paid, let's just say even ballpark $200 an hour.
Yeah.
Most people are working like for $20 an hour. Okay.
Right.
So $200 an hour is still a good thing. Even if it's taking you an hour to get it done, you still got $200 for an hour. Okay. Whereas people are at work all day for 8 hours and they may walk home after taxes with $100, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe taxes is a big maybe. Okay. That is super cool. So and then someone else asked, when you're doing the POAs at the nursing homes, ballpark estimate, what do you think you're getting then?
Well, see, and here's where I think I'm undercutting myself, because those I've seen, where other notaries are charging 75 just for a power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I only started out with this one nursing home that I've been working with for a while. I only started out with $10, but now I have upped it to 40.
Okay.
And now that's before I seen the 75. So I'm a little bit of afraid to go overboard, because they're only 2 seconds from my other job. And I hate to,
So are you giving the rates to the nursing home, to the social worker directly, or to the clients themselves?
No, the social worker just sends the families to me. She hands out my cards, and she's out of it from there, unless they feel that they want the social worker to be present or something.
Yeah. So I would say what I always do, slowly increase it again. And if you get pushback, then that's your cap. But
okay.
keep increasing it and see what you get. That's one thing that I learned. I was probably like 2016. I had a friend of mine who was also a notary. He was a gentleman, and we were just talking about rates, and he told me his rates, honey. And I said, whoa, hold on a second. And that's when I realized I was charging too low, and I didn't know. And so I always say, of course, do market research, figure out what everybody else is charging, but then always slowly increase your rates. The market will give you pushback if you're too high, but it will never tell you if you're too low. The only way you'll know if you're too low is if people say, oh, that's it. But people don't always say that.
Yeah. And I've had that. There was one time, when, like the recent 2 weeks ago or whatever it was now, that 2 family members in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That was a challenge. So I referred out to another notary who I haven't met personally, but I've seen on Google. She's got the 5 stars. They love her. She's right close to where I work too,
Mm-hmm.
and that nursing home. And then, so I referred her to the client at the nursing home, and they came back and said, well, we'll just wait for you because she's charging too much. And I went, oh my God, I am so undercutting myself. That was boom, the light went off.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
You just slowly, gradually pick up over time. That's it. But the beautiful thing that you just mentioned too is that she's in your same area, very close to you. And you can see she's busy and you're busy. Once again, markets are not oversaturated. It's about just being available, because there are going to be times when you're not available. When you're at an attorney's office closing something, it's plenty of people in your city who still needs document notarized. So they're going to call other people. So you have to get out of that mindset that there's not enough work, because there always is work. And you got to think about it. The places that you've hit, now we do in the Built For You program, we have you make sure you go to nursing homes, really hit, and you probably still have more nursing homes to hit, you think, or you think you hit them all?
I have a few more that are a little further out, but maybe 10 miles out than these 3 that I have here locally, like in New Prairie, and I actually have some in South Bend. That's about 40 minutes, but there's a couple there too. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. But you hit most of them. So, and then you hit a lot of the attorneys. And the thing is, you're never done. You always keep working it. You keep working it and you keep building. But being able to average between $500 and $1,000 a day is more than most Americans make, period. Period. You know what I'm saying? And most Americans don't even make 6 figures. So just doing $500,000 a day, you're already, if you can keep that consistent for the rest of the year, you're already putting yourself in 6 figures. You're already making more than most Americans make. And it's doing something that people think, and this, you have to kind of go back to that mindset when you first hear about it. It's like, notaries don't make any money. Not only do they make money, but they make more than most Americans make. Think about that. That's the beautiful part.
And now I get to go to my first conference.
I know. I saw. So you're going to the NNA conference next year. I'll be there as well. So this is going to be fun. It's always a ton of fun. It's always a ton of fun. And then you're going to learn so much. You're going to learn like it's not just about the conference. It's the people there. There's new people, but there's experience, and then there's people who've been there in the business for a long time. And those are the ones you want to pick their brain, because it's like, well, I've been doing this for 20, 30 years, full time, you know? And so people think that this business is like, oh, it's a side hustle. Oh, you can as a career, very much as a career, as a whole business here. It's about learning how to do it, you know. And every time we talk, it's like, while I'm talking to you, I'm like looking at my chat too, and I see a lot of my other students who've made six figures. Tamika's in the chat; she's in Virginia. Maria, I want to say Michigan, I think. And she makes great money. I don't know if you hit six figures, and let me know if you have. But a lot of my students are also in the chat. They're like commenting. It's like, I love being able to help people get to this space. And the beautiful thing, I know you said before that you love about the Built For You program, was that it was organized. Like, you knew what you had to do each week versus just being all over the place and like, well, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people think, I'm telling you, people think like, oh, I know how to do it, you know, but it's like, for me, like, I've been doing it so long that I can see what the problem is when people are doing things. Like, people say, oh, I have a website, and I look at it and say, nope, this is wrong. It's not working. Let's fix it. Or, you know, like, oh, I need a W-9. They send me over chicken scratch, and it's like scanned, and I see a table and a bowl beside it, and it's like, this is not going to work. Or they send me a headshot, and it's like them at the club. Whoa. No, what is this? You know? And then it gets even deeper than that, because then we go into like HubSpot, like me, like teaching you guys how to do the CRM and, you know, getting your client list and like learning how to do those follow-ups. You know, it's really about learning how to build a business that will last and that's sustainable. Not just a fly by night. Oh, this is something that you know what I mean? Like something that's like, I just picked this up, but actually learning how to make money in the space. So yeah. So tell me more about how you feel about where you've gotten when you started in the program, and then how you feel now.
Total fear and panic in the beginning.
Okay.
And sometimes through it, because, you know, I didn't, like I told you a few weeks back when I had the disgruntled ones, or, you know, because they're going through so much. So I was kind of a little panicked about that. But now I'm starting to, I guess, what do you call, level out and just say, you know what, I'm just jumping in, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get a little more relaxed and just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because it's getting wonderful.
I know. And the one thing I too want to highlight. So when you joined, it was when we first launched the program. I think the program was like $24.87, I think.
Yeah.
And you have since made that back beyond. Like, you have since made way beyond what you invested into the program, which is great. And that's why I say people look at like, well, it's $24.87. It was $24.87. Now I think it's $28.97. But when you look at the investment, it's like you have to look at, okay, I'm putting in 24 for you, 24.57 or what have you. And then, but now you have a business that generates you between $500 and $1,000 a day. So literally in a week's time, you already made that back. And then you continue to grow from here. You know, it's like the math just makes so much sense. It just makes so much sense, you know? And I tell everybody that's interested, of course, there is the payment plan. So you don't have to put it all down at once. And the beautiful part is the first like 2 to 3 months is where the bulk of the work is happening. If you're on a payment plan, you're only paying like $100 a month, give or take, depending on, you know, how you're
right.
set it up. So you can start making great money pretty quickly, you know, in the program. But I will say, you got to know, you got to listen, you got to follow instructions. Follow instructions, because I will kick an email back so fast. If I say, hey, I need this, and you send it and it's wrong, nope, send it back, do it again, because it's got to be right. I'm never going to send anybody out there. I've had people who have like, they tell me their LLC name they wanted, and this is no shade if you're listening, you know it's you. And they'll say, I want my LLC name to be this. And I'll say, no, we're not doing that. It's just stop it. We're not doing that. Okay. I've had people like send me pictures and they're like, this is my headshot. No, it's not. Go take another one. You are not using that. No. Okay. Because I'm putting my name on it. And I've had people who say, well, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And I have to give a disclaimer. I'm not your mom. I can't make you do anything. But I'm not going to put my name on it. You're not going to say, Vanessa did that. No, she didn't. Vanessa's going to tell you what to do. Now, should you decide to do something different, you can do what you want to do. But if I'm telling you how to do something, I'm putting my name on it and I'm going to say this works. You know, and so I had people back a lot of times, like, stop doing that. Not you. You listened. You listened the entire time. You know, and I think sometimes, like, I remember one time you sent me an email with all these. I said, wait, stop. Don't do that. Like, I had to like slow down. Wait, hold on. Let me get in here. Real quick. Wait a minute. I got to make sure that we're going the right way and everything's set up, you know, because like, the way I want it to be. And even when you say, like, I remember one time I was like, really, I think we signed up for field inspections and we signed you up for loan signing. But I remember we talked once, you said you're really like locked in on general notary work. And I said, that's fine. Like, you can stay there for a while. When you're ready, you know, we've signed you up with field inspections and loan signing. So then you just follow up with those companies and now you have more revenue options coming in. And that's the beautiful thing about notary work is in the program, we talk about general notary work, loan closing, e-notary, field inspections, fingerprinting, weddings. So you have all these things that you can do. And you're right now still doing $500 to $1,000 primarily general notary work. And you haven't even added on the rest of the things yet. And you don't have to. But if you were to think what you're going to add, do you think you're going to add it all on? Or do you think you're going to like, where do you think you're going to lay your head for the most part?
I'm not sure yet. I did get, that's the other thing I wanted to tell you. There is a daycare out in Crown Point. My best friend actually works there. She's a cook there. Mm-hmm. They actually have fingerprinting for the kids. So now I'm going out to talk to them next Monday.
Oh, good. To offer that service?
Yes.
And we sent you a fingerprinting kit.
Yes.
Boom! Look at that. So we also do supplies in the Built For You program. So you got a whole little setup going now. Like, okay, well now I can do fingerprinting.
Yeah, I forgot about that, and I'm like, because I'm trying to remember all these other things, and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, the daycare, because my best friend works out there, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, and that's what you said. There's so much to be done. Like so really quick though, walk us through like a day-to-day of what you work on in your business, whether it's like marketing or, you know, going to nursing homes. So what's your average day look like now?
So most of the time, well, we'll see. I just started the loan signing, so we'll see how that works out. Okay. I get called, like I said, 5 days a week for the one nursing home, and they're right close together. So that's basically like I want to try and designate like Mondays or Thursdays for those two loan signings. I got to really catch when I can, except when this Meridian calls me, because Jennifer, the real estate, the retired, she set me up with her. So I'm going to try and take everything I can.
Yeah. And they're paying $250 a pop.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to take those.
But it's just like, I guess it's from, and especially with my boss, because I work 3 days a week with her. So when we don't have, that's a different type of client there that we have come in there. But like around 11 o'clock lunchtime, I can use my lunch hour. Or if we don't have any appointments in the afternoon, she's like, go, pick it up. I'm like, what? And like, she not only pays me for still the rest of the day, but I'm getting paid to go from these from Meridian to go notarize.
So you're still working your full-time job. Is it full-time or part-time?
It's part-time. It's Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
So you're working a part-time job and doing the notary business, but you're still making the $500 to $1,000 a day. I like that.
I can't, I'm having a hard time giving up the part-time job. One, because my boss is awesome, but two, because she's paying me $22 an hour for 3 days a week.
Yeah, I get it. And you like her, because I will tell you it is that. Because if you didn't like her, if she was really like getting on your nerves and driving you up a wall,
I'd be gone.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to do this. But that's good because you're now everything you're doing that you like and you enjoy. So tell me this really quick. I have 2 or 3 more questions and I'll let you go. I know it's getting late. So where do you see yourself with this notary business within the next year? Like, where do you think it's going to be?
In the next year?
Yeah.
Well, I still think it's going to be right at six figures, just about, unless it really, something happens that, but that's what I'm working towards, six figures every year.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the part-time job. That's another, that I'm going to have to discuss with my boss, although she's like, hey, if you want to, it's no skin off my nose, you go do what you got to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, but that's another elected position too, where what she's doing, she's a township trustee. I think we still have another 2 years before that election comes up. So that'll depend a lot if she's going to run again, because she's 66 now. So, and her kids live in Indianapolis, and so we're kind of teetering there. But yeah, the notary business, I'm not actually that concerned about it anymore.
I get it. Okay.
I'll keep continuing.
I like it. And then what would you say is the biggest benefit that doing this business has given you, like you and your family? What would you say is the biggest benefit, like the biggest benefit?
Well, financial freedom. Spending more time. I can pick and choose, times or what I want to take now.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I can choose to work weekends or not work weekends.
That's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, get to see the grandkids and holidays and things like that. Take care of my house.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing, time and financial freedom. Like, make as much money as you want, and then you can choose when to get up and not get up. Like, once you get that, you're solid. I can get up, I cannot get up. And then I have money, so I can do what I want to do. I think that's everyone's goal. Have money, do what you want to do. Okay.
And go to conferences every year. I haven't been on a plane since 2001.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa.
Are you scared?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. You'll be fine. You got this. I'll be there too. We probably won't be on the same flight because you're coming from a different area, but I'll be on the plane. We might see each other in the airport. And then what would you say if you can give a piece of advice to anyone listening that is new as a new notary, or they're like let's do two. New advice to new notaries, and then advice to notaries who are doing it, but they're not seeing the results they want. So what's your new notary advice?
New notaries, I'm going to go with what you have taught me. Read your handbook. Always.
Yeah.
And then don't be like, well, there's going to be, I don't know if some people are fearless, but get over that fear and just jump right in and do it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing, was the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are the two really main things, just jump right in there and do it. And you can start, go put yourself out there, get your website, start talking to people, network, and take the jobs, whether you want it full time. You're going to start seeing some results. You got to get out there and do the work, though.
That's a fact.
And take this program, go through this program, because that will really help tremendously. Trust me, I know.
Like, I know. I know. And Libby goes through everything. We go over everything. There's no stone left unturned. And the beautiful thing too, just so you know, I know you know already, you can always call me. Like, I'm a person. I'm not like a computer system, like I'm not like calling a bank that's like, oh, we'll try to connect you. Yeah. Like, you have my cell phone number. You text me and call me whenever. Like, I'm not, just because like you're done, like technically done with the program, you can always call me or email me or, text me. I'm always available. I don't go anywhere. Like, I have students from 2019 who still text me and call me. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be a notary probably for forever. So where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. So I'm always available. So then what would be your advice to the ones that are doing it, but they're not getting the results they're looking for? They're doing the notary business. Like, they're trying to get into it, but they're not making six figures. What would you say?
That's a hard one. Because I wasn't until I took the program.
Take the program.
Yeah. That's That's how, yeah. Take the program.
Take the program. Like,
Follow,
take the
fo-
program.
follow the instructions.
Follow instructions.
Put the work in. Take the courses. Always continuing education. And get out there. Start putting yourself out there. You'll start getting calls, and then
Yeah.
you'll get referrals from other notaries. Network with other notaries in your area. That's a big thing that I'm finding out too. So, and that
Oh,
helps a lot.
yeah, for sure. Because and the reason why notaries refer work is because if I get calls and I can't do it, that actually kind of hurts my business. So I want to be like, hey, I have someone, and I refer work all the time, because that way it's not like they called me and I couldn't help.
Right.
I mean, give me a bad review or something. So I'm always sending work out if I can't do it. Always. I'm like, okay, let her do it, let him do it.
Yeah.
There you go, someone get this done. So it's good. Definitely connect with other notaries. Definitely connect with other notaries. I love that. Well,
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I appreciate you for coming on this YouTube channel with me and talking about your notary business. And what you say your husband says now? What do you say? Get that money, baby. What do you say?
Go out there and make that money, girl.
I love it. I love that he's supporting you. And I said, well, if he decides to jump in it, he's probably like, he's gonna sit back and let you, like, she's making $1,000 a day. What am I doing? I'm gonna relax.
Right.
Retire. Just retire. We got this. But no, I'm excited to see like where you get next year. And as the more you grow, we can even, like, not yet, but the more you grow, maybe next year we can even talk about having a boutique signing service where you have other notaries underneath you that come through and they just do the work for you. That's another option that we can get into too later. But just like forecasting out. Yeah, that's down the road. That's down the road. We're not there yet. I don't want you to be like, whoa, what's happening? No, later. Right now, we're focusing on general notary work and loan closing. That's where
don't put me in panic mode. I just got out of that.
I said, wait, stop. I saw it happening. Never mind. Slow it down. But you're doing really well, and it makes me I really am really happy for you. It makes me happy to see people get into it and change their lives, because it changed my life. When I first hit my first 6 figures out in 2016, I told y'all my story. I was working at Qdoba. Okay, I was working at Qdoba, and I was working at a call center. I think making $14 an hour. Okay, $14 an hour is a whole lot different than $100 an hour. Okay,
that's for sure.
Yeah. So being able to help people like make money and stop doing things they hate just because they think everyone's doing it, everyone works a job they hate. No, they don't. If you can learn how not to, it can change your life. So that makes me happy.
The one thing I remember when I first seen you on a I forget, I think it was on YouTube. I seen where you were telling people you were talking about your full-time jobs and whatever, you're working at a place that you hate. And I started laughing because it is so true. You're like, you're kidnapping yourself.
Yeah. It's true.
That is right.
Yourself, and you took yourself to this job because it's true. Because if someone else had tied you up and made you go to a place and made you do work you didn't want to do and made you do it every day, you would call the cops on them. But you do it to yourself every day. You kidnap yourself every day and drag yourself into that job, and you make yourself work for money that's not enough, and you don't like your job. You're a kidnapper.
that has stuck in my head the whole time for so many years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it is. But it's also just like people just get used to it because like their friends do it, their mom, their dad, like their neighbors, and and it's crazy. I was on a call today with a notary company actually who wanted to partner for e-notary stuff, and she was just like, oh, well, thank God it's Tuesday. It's not Friday yet. And then when she says it, it's just like, oh, you have a job you don't like, huh? But she was a notary. She's more so in the tech space. But it's like, I don't even care what day of the week it is, because the day of the week is irrelevant because I actually enjoy what I do every day. So I don't look forward to Fridays because Friday is like a Monday. I don't care if it's Sunday because a Sunday and a Monday is like a Wednesday and a Thursday. And when you get that lifestyle where you're actually not having to worry about, trying to make happy hour on a Friday because you hate your job, and every day is beautiful, and every day you love what you do, you have a way more peaceful life, way more, 1,000 times over. 1,000 times over. But okay, thank you so much, Crystal. You are the best ever, 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 ever. And
I can say the same to you.
thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you so much for coming on here. And I know I'm going to talk to you again probably tomorrow. If you need me, text me.
On Thursday is actually our last call for the program.
But you can always call me.
Oh, yeah. I'll go. Oh, you know it.
Yeah,
I'll be calling.
right. It's the last official call, but you can call me whenever you want to. Don't ever feel like you can't call me or email. You can always call, text, email. I'm always available. Always, always, always. Cool.
And I will see you at the conference next year too.
See you at the conference. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, guys. So I'm glad that you guys were able to hear her story. So if you joined in the middle of that, that was Crystal Watley from Indiana. She is in the Built for You program through Notary to Notary. It is a roughly 13-week program, but of course, some people end up staying in way longer, which is fine because we help you get golden. We do not rush you through. We keep you in there until you're successful. She started with me in April. So April, May, June, July, August. So she's officially done now, but she was making great money by like month 2. Like she was like hitting the ground running. And it's one of those beautiful things to be able to help someone. And I remember on her very first call with me, she got very emotional because she was saying she had just been all over the place, trying it. She'd done so many classes, so many trainings, and it was just like she didn't know what to do, where to start. She was all over the place. And the beautiful thing was we organized her. We got her organized and we gave her exact steps. Because it's one thing. Notary to Notary is not, it's basically my biography. It's like I'm telling you exactly what I did to get the results that I get every day. And so I literally map out an entire plan. And every single person who follows the plan to the T and does not stray from the plan will get the same results. If you do not follow the plan, you will not get the results. Or you may get results, but I can't put my name on it and vouch for what you got. You have to follow the plan. That is it. Follow the plan, get the results. Don't follow the plan. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. I can't help you. I don't know. But so I said, but that's just always available. I know. Everybody always, you'd be surprised. I get random texts and phone calls from students that I've had since 2019, 2020. They're like, hey, Vanessa, you know me? I have a quick question. Like, yep, I'm here. What's up? Like, where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. Now, I'm not saying to blow my phone up. I didn't say that. Don't do that. But I am saying I'm always available. And so really quick, I want to tell you guys about the Built for You program. How much can you make a week as a notary, as much as you want. So Crystal, for example, she was just on here. She makes between $500 and $1,000 a day. Okay. A day. When I was full-time notary, I did the same thing. That was my average, 500 to 1,000. And the reason why you pretty much stick in that 500 to 1,000 is because you're only one person. You can only be but so many places at one time. So let's say, for example, the title company that she has, Meridian now, that's paying her $250 a pop. An average loan closing may take you, give or take 30 minutes to an hour. Let's say an hour. You can only typically do, let's say, on average, you're probably going to do between 5 and 10. 5 and 10 at $100 gives you 1,000. 5 and 10 at $250. Someone do that math. I don't know. That's like 500. 1,000, 2,000. It's like what, 2,500, I think, for the day. But the thing is, with $1,000 a day as an average, that's the average that if you do full time, 500 to $1,000 a day is a pretty decent average for a full time notary. A full time, and she's not even full time because she has a part time job too. But if you do like a full time notary, you can on average make about $500,000 a day. If you break that down, the average loan closing is about $100. The average general notary work is between $50 and $150. Now, if you're working with attorneys, most attorneys pay between $100 and $200, sometimes $300 for estate closings, right? When I say estate closings, don't think it has to be a whole like situation. Okay, did I math it right? I don't know if my math, but anyway. So let's say you and we give you this. We give you client lists for who you need to connect with in the Built for You program. I'm going to break the program down for you in a second too. But if you do, let's say for example, if you do if you work with an attorney and they say, hey, and when I say you're doing estate closings, remember you're a notary first. All you're doing is notarizing the documents. You're not even explaining much of anything. That's the beautiful part. Think about this. If an attorney's doing a will, a power of attorney, a medical directive, they typically can charge $1,000, $1,500, even and up, depending on how big the estate is. Okay. So and then let's not even mention they did a trust. Most trusts out the gate, they probably charge like anywhere between $3,000 and $8,000 for a trust. So why would they blink an eye to give you $300? Why would they blink an eye for that? They're not going to blink an eye at that. They don't care. It's $300 out of $8,000. Who cares? They do not care. Okay. But that's why I said you have to understand your industry, and they need it because most attorneys, if not all, will not notarize their own documents. So they need a notary, especially now they need e-notaries. They need mobile notaries who are available to go to their clients and execute those documents, or who can do it online. You see what I'm saying? So that's just one niche. So let me break down the Built for You program really quick. Okay. So the Built for You program is, it's broken up into 13 weeks, but of course, if most people it takes more than 13 weeks to get through it, and that's perfectly fine. The first like 2 to 3 weeks is all foundation building. It's all, people always say, oh, I already have my commission, or I have this, or I have that. I have people who had a commission, had an LLC, had different things, and they still stuck in week 2 because there's things they do not know. Okay. And the thing is, most people set their things up wrong. They do it incorrectly, and we have to fix it. Okay. And so what we like to, like I had one no, not tell you that story, but anyway, so the whole foundation, the first 2 to 3 weeks is just foundation building, business building, notary training. That's where we sit. Then we get into probably like the next 3 weeks is all marketing. It's website build, it's Google profile, it's Yelp, it's marketing templates. Oh, let me show you. So like we do design, we do logo design, we do branding, we do everything to make your business look professional and legitimate. Oh, that's Crystal. That's who you just saw just now. We make you get professional profile pictures. Guess why? It works. I've had a professional profile picture since 2015. Why? I know the difference between a regular picture and a profile picture. It speaks volumes. It's the difference between having a Gmail and a professional email. How many times have you seen a Gmail on a business card and said, everyone does that. So why are you using one? Now, I have a student just now who asked me, I have a Gmail for my notaries. When I first started, I had a Gmail, and I still get notary leads there, but I also have a professional email. That's what's on my business card. I would never in a million years put a Gmail on a business card. Why? Because what's the point of looking professional with a business card and having a Gmail on it? Stop. Okay. So we do signature lines for your email. We teach you how to design your email to look professional and how to send professional emails. We give you templates to use for marketing, templates for when you have your clients, for how to talk to them, for how to market to them, how to handle them after you get your signings. We do business cards. We do flyers. I wonder if I have a flyer in here. We do flyers for our students. So we give them designs for flyers. We give them 3 sets of flyers that they can use for attorneys, for nursing homes, and for title companies. We literally take the guesswork out of everything, and everything is branded to you. So we teach you how to brand the business. Everything that's online, everything that's on your website, everything that's on whatever you give, it's branded to you. Okay. And I can't tell you how many people that I have that's in the program. I say, hey, set up your voicemail. I need a voicemail? Yes, you need a voicemail. Like, it's the little things people are missing. Even an operating agreement. No, we give you an operating agreement template. We give you every single thing that you need to have in order for your business to be successful. Then we get into working. So all of that is just foundation. Foundation's got to be straight, honey. I always tell people, anybody in the program, if your foundation's not right, we're not going to market. I'm not going to go to market for you if we don't have foundation right. Because what is the point? What is the point of me going to market for you? And when the market comes to you, we look like trash, or you don't know what you're doing. We wasted time. So we teach you how to use a CRM. We teach you what a CRM is, how to use it. We give you client lists. We give you nursing homes, title companies, attorneys. We sign up for signing services for you. We sign up for field inspections for you. We give you supplies. We teach you how to do weddings, fingerprinting, apostilles. We market for those things for you. We do a whole lot. It's so funny. People say, that's not all you charge? Because y'all do a whole lot. We give you, you know how I say you have to post, what I said, 15 to 24 times a month on your website. So initially we post all your content on your website for you. We build you a 4-page website. We add the blogs to your website to get you ranking. We add the content to your Google Business Profile page to get you ranking, okay? To get you calls, okay? And then from there, we give you at least 50 content pieces, blogs and content that you can just copy, paste to your website. Boom. And we're done. You don't have to do a single thing. I don't understand. Like, it doesn't get any easier than this. Not only that, we give you marketing scripts. We give you email templates that you can use to market to. So we give you your clients. We do all your marketing. We give you their emails. We tell you who to talk to. We give you the email script. All you do is copy and paste, hit send. Copy and paste, hit send. The only other thing I can do for you is show up to your state and do the notary for you. That's it. That's the only thing I can do for you. And unfortunately, I cannot be in 50 states at one time. But there is literally no way that you cannot be successful in this space. It makes no sense, because literally we do everything for you. Literally, the whole kit and caboodle. There's something for you. Now, you do have things you have to do. You have to train. You have to understand. Like, you still have to know what a notarial act is. You know, those things matter. You know, you have to know some of those things. I had one student, we sent her, what did we send her? She wanted to do a car setup. So we sent her a whole car setup kit because she already had everything else. We sent her a whole car setup kit because she wanted to be more mobile. Like, it's literally nothing that we don't do. You have a built-in budget that is a part of, so that's part of what you're paying for, is the built-in budget that we use to build your business. So part of that literally goes back to you. So, but we have to do it in a way that it's done correctly. Okay, and I'll show you really quick what that looks like. Hold on one second. So this one says August, but it's the same. Well, we are in August anyway. But all right, most people are working, I will say, by week 4. So give me 1 second and I'll show you the whole program. Share screen. The screen I won't share is the Built For You program. Okay, so it's the Built For You program. It is not just 30 days, but it's the 30-day challenge to you to start working. So within 30 days, we want you to at least be started working. It's a program where we help you, even if you're in an attorney state. I have students in Georgia doing loan closings. Okay, I have one student who said, I get too many offers a day. I'm scared to take them all. Honey, start hitting yes and stop playing with me. I had one student call me today. She made $200, $215 with inspections this week or last week. I have another student that's in New York. She's doing, I think, about $400 to $500 a week, but she's trying to up more because she wants to quit her job. Everybody in there is making money. It's a matter of when you get to a certain point, you start making money. But it's the same system for everybody. Okay. All right, so we do a lot of stuff that's listed. This is not all that we do, but we basically build your business for you. We take the guesswork out of building your business. It is basically you follow the program, you start making money. And the way we look at it is, when you invest into the program, you make the money back, literally. Like, so when you listen to Crystal, she was talking about how she was making this early. Like, she locked in really heavy. But if you're making between $500 and $1,000 a day, which is average, and for a full-time notary, $500 to $1,000 a day, which is average. Okay, and you invested, right now the program is $28.97. Once you get to that point, you've made that money back in 3 days. Not only that, you continue to make that money. It was so funny because she got that speaking gig really early on in the program. So she had already had made $1,000 a day, and then they offered her $1,000 there. So she had already made $2,000 by the time I think it was in her week 5. And so she had made her complete investment back into the program within like the first, I don't know, 7 weeks of being in the program. And now everything she's doing is just profit. It's just profit. And so, but one thing I have to say is like, you have to focus. You can't get into the program and just spin your wheels and just say, oh, you know, well, but I will say we are patient in that. I have a lot of people who are in the program who has life happening. Like we just got off summers, people are taking vacations and things like that. We do work with you. So we will work with you. So it's not like if you miss an appointment, we're going to cancel you. No, like I get it. Life happens. Life happens for me. So it's perfectly fine. We're very patient with you. We help you get going. But I would like to, I know people had questions earlier, but when I was talking, so I wasn't able to answer them. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat for me really quick. We're probably going to stay on here for like another 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to wrap up for today. But if you do have questions, I know someone asked me about the Mini Built For You program. So the Mini Built For You was full. And I will say it's important that you look at what the Mini Built For You is. So the Mini Built For You is not the entire program. The Mini Built For You is website build. What else does it include? I have to look at it again. I'll resend it. But it's about 5 things out of it. So website build, marketing materials, and I believe it's signing service signups. So it gives you like a couple things, but it's nowhere near the entire thing. I'll have to look and see. I'll re-forward that email out so you guys can get that. Let me see if it's open. So I have the link, but I was trying to see if I can find the whole template for them. I'll re-forward the email out so that way you have it, because I don't have it right in front of me for the Mini Built For You. So it's not the complete, it's a website build, it's a marketing template, I believe, and I think it's sign and service sign up. So I think it's like 3 things, but it doesn't include the whole thing. So just a couple things that's like, oh, we can just give you a little boost in that direction. All right, so really quick, let me see. I missed 2 loan signings this week. It was $100 each, but you were at work. Well, you gotta start counting how much money you're being, and you was doing a lot of field inspections. We gotta get you on here so you can talk about how much money you've been making too. But you guys gotta count out how much money you're missing being at work, because then you're able to say, okay, should I stay at work? Should I leave my job? That's how I figured out when I should leave or not. I will say, like, even me being in Florida, the volume that I'm getting now, even though I don't take all of my notary offers because I'm doing other things like actual notary training or Built For You, on average, I probably do between 1 and 2 closings a day. And I do a couple e-notaries too. It just depends on, what's going on. I've been doing more. I did an inspection yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, Friday, for a company called First Allegiance. And they paid me $70 to take 30 pictures of like one thing. It was like just snap different angles. Cool, that's it? Yeah? All right, done. I'm like, okay. That was easy. I'm sorry. I do not know why I just ate that chocolate. It was sitting there tempting me. How much for a power of attorney? So, the way I do power of attorneys, everyone says their own rate's different. The main thing is she was saying that she was doing, I think, $40 for the nursing home she was doing, but she's going to up her rate. She definitely should. But the attorneys were paying her $250. So attorneys were paying her more than if you just went to the nursing home. But nursing homes on average, I usually get anywhere between $50 and $100 for nursing homes. Just depends on where it is, because you kind of got to gauge the demographic of that community to see what you want to charge for it. So it's okay to market a title when you're just starting off. Not if you don't know what you're doing, because title's not going to help you. So she got a lot of training. I helped her train for notary signing agents. We went through a lot of the docs and got really solid on it. Plus, she did a lot of general notary work, so she knew how to complete notarial acts. A lot of people get messed up on notarial acts. A lot of people get messed up on notarial acts. I will say 99% of people who are in the Built For You program need coaching on notarial acts. To be perfect, they need help. Even if you've been doing it for a while. I have trick ones that I throw in there and like, oh, wrong, try again. Okay. Let's see. I love working for attorneys too. Are you paid on the spot for general notary work? Yes, that's the beautiful part about it. Let's see. $250, $300 is a good target to pay for working with attorneys. How much from nurse? Okay, I saw that one. I made $1,000 in a day. I've made $1,000 days plenty of times. It's really not hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a full day. Like, you're gonna work. Now, if you get four, because the thing is, most times when you're working with like attorneys or title companies, you're still at the beck-in schedule of the signer. So let's say they have four, they want to give you that day and it's $250. One may be at 10, one may be at 12, one may be at 2, then 3. So it may not be back to back to back to back. So you do have to be flexible in that space. But either way, it's still $1,000 for the day. I'm not complaining. And she was from Indiana. She's in Indiana. Let's see. I will be at the NNA conference. Let me see. Vanessa is always accessible. That is true. I have a notary life. That's what my life is. It's notary world. That's what I do. I eat, breathe, sleep, notary. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I eat, breathe, sleep, notary. That's what I do. But it's okay. I like it. So I don't think Crystal is on social media. I remember when I first got her in the program and she was like, girl, I don't know nothing about this website and this online stuff. You got me out here. Don't worry about this, honey. I got you. So I had to do a lot of the groundwork for her. So I don't think she's on social media. But I'll find out. How much can you make a week as a notary? As much as you want. Like if she's doing 500 to 1,000 a day, that's between 250 and 5,000 if she's working on weekends. I don't know if she's working on weekends. I think I have to find out. So it's between $2,500 and $5,000 a week, or $7,000 a week if she's working weekends. So it really just depends. It depends on you. You decide exactly. Do you still have the minute pay? I don't know. I have to check that one. RVA Henrico, count number 1 notary here. I followed the plan. She is RVA's number 1 notary. She's definitely, Tamika's always busy. And Tamika sends me work. But when I'm in Virginia, she's like, oh, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? You remember you send me stuff? I send you stuff too. But it's just funny because we both are like, oh, can you do this? Or can you do this? Yeah. Let's see. My favorite Virginia notary, Virginia now Florida. Okay. Is there a payment plan? There is. So when you go to checkout, choose Klarna or Affirm. That's the payment plan options. When you do Klarna or Affirm, it's going to give you, like, normally people get, like, I have some people get through and don't have any payment for the first month, but it's basically like one of those things. I would say try both and see what gives you the best rate. And then you pay, what I would say, you do Klarna or Affirm and then you pay monthly on it. And the beautiful thing about it is I've had people who joined the program who they did Klarna and Affirm and their payments were like $100 a month, but they were able to get all of their supplies, their LLC, their marketing materials, everything that cost some money, but they're only putting in, like, after 3 months, $300 and their whole business is done. Like, they're working and it's like, okay, now I'm working with money. So it's like they ended up on the win side of the whole thing because you're locked in and getting it done. I don't understand how to be a notary in 2 states. So it's called being dual commissioned. If you're on the border, like people in Georgia and Florida are dual commission because you can do e-notary and things like that when you're dual commission in Florida and Georgia. So you just apply with both states to get their notary commission. So you apply with the Secretary of State for both states and get your commission. And then when your body is in Georgia, you use your Georgia stamp. When your body is in Florida, you use your Florida stamp. That's it. Are you able to talk tomorrow? Shoot me an email and we'll take it from there. I don't think you're in the Built For You, Michelle, because I was like, if you're Built For You and coaching students, usually they have my cell so they can call me. If you're not Built For You or not one-on-one coaching, just shoot me an email. You can ask your questions that way or put your phone number. I try to call people back as pretty much same day. I do my best to get your question answered. Just shoot me an email. What's the average rate of pay? There is no average. It's whatever you want to get paid. Like, you set your own rates. That's the beautiful part about being a notary, set your own rates. But if we're to set an average, general notary works between $100 to $200. E-notary is all over the place. Everything is all over the place. I've done inspections for $10. I've done inspections for $150. I've done e-notary for my biggest e-notary. I remember it was one of my earlier ones. This man paid me $850. And it was right when e-notary was like really booming. And he just did, I think he did like several documents, but I didn't think it would pay me that much. But it was so new and he was out of the country and he was like, why is this so cheap? And I was just like, or maybe you have a lot of money. And I should have charged you more. But I've also done e-notary for $25. So it just depends, you know. I've done apostilles for 150. I've done apostilles for, I think my biggest apostille might have been like 800 bucks, maybe somewhere around that part. I've done general notary work for 10, 15 bucks. I've been doing notary work for a couple $100. Just depends on what it is. There's no set rate. Every situation is different. Nursing homes and rehab centers, I get a minimum of 175 without witnesses. Let's go. I just logged in. Are you still offering do it for you course? I am. It's the Built for You program. The link is right there. Hop on in there. If you missed the interview with Crystal, definitely replay. She was in our program. She just graduated recently, but she's always going to be a part of the program because no one leaves. We keep you here forever. Like students who take the courses don't even leave. Like, where are you going? Where are you going? So I'm always going to be able to talk to you guys and see what's going on. I put the wrong link, guys. Don't use that. The one I just put, that's not it. Boop. Hold on. I was copying and pasting for another one, and I'm putting the right link in. She kidnaps you. I do. And you love that. Thank you. Remember when I opened up my Notary Business Center in Virginia? It's our office in Chesterfield. Tamika came and helped me put all the furniture together. She's the best ever. She was a part of the tribe. I love being a notary. It's definitely a passion. I'm about to go through all my courses and brush up on these things. I truly want to leave education and be a full-time notary in Virginia. I need with leads. Okay, so definitely get into the Built for You program. That's where you want to be. I always tell everybody by week 4, you're working. 4 to 6, you're working. Just depends on how aggressive you are. If you like really lock in, we'll get you work between 4 to 6 weeks. Could be sooner, but I'm just saying, I don't want to say you'll be working by week 2 and you don't answer the phone. It's not gonna work. You know, it steps to it. Will you file LLC for our business? Yes, we do. You do your LLC. The only time we don't do your LLC is if you're in California. This is why. California's LLC is $800. And you have a budget that's built into everything we have to do. So what we normally do for people that are in California is say, hey, we can do your LLC, or you can sole prop now, let us get paid for everything else that needs to get done. And then when you start making money, boom, we can do your LLC, but you still have to pay for it because it's just going to dig so much into your budget. But most states, LLCs are between $50 and $200. But California just happens to be $800. Okay. Texas is $300. So yeah, that's built into your budget. We do your LLC for you if you need an LLC file. So everyone has a built-in budget into their program. When you join, we give you a bunch of surveys so you can see what we're going to do for your business in particular. And then we build your program out like that. So it's very much designed for each person, even though it's a set program for everybody. But we have people who, for example, they say, oh, well, I don't want to do weddings, or I have somebody who said, I don't want to do loan closings. Okay, cool. So we tweak it. We take some things off. We put some things in. Just depends on where you want to be. But I have people who say, okay, well, I don't want to, if you say I don't want to do loan closings and I say, why? And you say, because I'm scared. No, I'm not taking it off. No. Fear is not a reason. If you say I don't like it, and it's just not something I want to do, that's different. People go, well, I'm scared. No, you're not going to not do it because you're scared. So don't say that, okay? People who say I don't want to do weddings because I'm scared, that's different. I get it. It's a lot of people. It's a little intimidating. But what I do say is we show you how to partner with other notaries or other wedding officiants so you can still get paid off of your leads. When they do it, you just get a commission piece off of it. So that way you're still not turning away business, but you're getting paid and just giving someone to the notary who does want to do it. That way you're still getting paid and for it all. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's basically it. Any more questions on the Built for You program? I'm super excited I was able to share that with you guys. I will have another student for you guys next week. I'm trying to get somebody else on here next week. I have one in mind she's doing really well. I'm really happy for her. And so she's gonna be my next one. Okay, y'all gonna be excited about this one. But it's just something I love being able to take people from where they are and then, help them build their business and then change their life. That's a big deal. Making $500 to $1,000 a day. People that's not the average. Okay. That is not the average. How much money do you make a day? If you're not a full-time notary, be honest with you. How much money do you make a day? Right? Most people, if you think about, most people probably make like $100 a day at work. Even if you're getting, let's say you're getting $20 an hour, right? Let's say you do 8 hours. After taxes, about $100. You know what I I was talking to somebody recently. They were telling me that they were getting paid like $800 a week, which is a week, which is like $1,600 every 2 weeks. But then after taxes, it's like, but you really can't. I mean, you can live off of it, but not really when you think about how much rent or mortgages cost. Then you talk about car insurance and then your car note, and they don't mention kids and childcare. Don't even get me started on that, and food and gas and light and Netflix. I'm scared. Like, you really have, that's why you got to have 2 and 3 jobs, because you don't have one that suffice enough to pay you what you need to be paid to justify the lifestyle that you're trying to live, which is basically just basic living in America. Can you do weddings in Virginia? You have to apply for it, but yes. So like, I'm a wedding officiant in Virginia, as is Tamika. So yes, I do weddings also in Florida. In Florida, as a notary, you can do weddings without anything in addition. In Virginia, you can do weddings. You just have to apply with your local courthouse. So there's like loopholes to it. In Virginia, they have a $500 bond. You don't have to put it up in certain counties or cities. They just take your word that, so basically if you don't file the wedding certificate on time, I think it's like, I forget, it's like 7 days, something like that, from the point of execution, 7 or 10 days, something like that. You get $500 fine. And so the $500 bond is up there in case you don't file it. They're just going to keep the $500. But some places they'll just say, hey, sign that you will pay it if you don't file it. And so if you're in a city or county that makes you put the $500 up, you can just apply in a city or county that does not, but you have to have an address for that city or county, which you can just get like a virtual office address for that. It's like a little loopholes to work around it. And then you just apply for statewide coverage and it lasts the rest of your life. Boom. Work the system in a good way, you know? And then you're a wedding officiant for the rest of your life. Boom. And so you don't have to be a minister or any kind of religious relation or anything like that in Virginia anymore. Some counties may try to push that, but it's usually like the rural, old school country ones, but most cities and counties are aware that that's no longer a requirement. People are really sleeping on notaries. That was me before I found you. Yay! I wish I had the Built For You program a few years ago, Maria, but Maria got into the one-on-one coaching. You got into the one-on-one coaching, and we definitely talked all the time. We were, as I said, the ones that are successful, we talk all the time. Like, I can tell because they're like locked in. They're like, okay, I got to get this done. Okay. Why LLC versus sole prop? Sole prop is not a business type. It's basically a way. This is what I always say. Sole prop is basically the LLC's. I mean, the IRS's way. This is what happened. The IRS was chilling, right? And the IRS was collecting taxes from LLCs and corporations and all that good stuff, and then W-2s. And then one day they looked and they said, "Hey, is that Jessica over there in the garage making cupcakes and selling them? Are we taxing her? Well, she didn't file a business, sir. Well, what are we going to call? We got to call her something. She can't get away with that, can she? I don't know. I got it. We're going to call her a sole prop." And that's how they tax you. But you're not a business type. Not only are you not a business type, you're the highest tax. W-2s and sole props are the highest tax entities in the United States, okay? And I did a whole talk breaking down why they're taxed that much, okay? It makes sense when you understand the system of America and government and tax and how it's designed. And so LLCs are limited liability companies. They literally limit your liability so you cannot be sued, but you also now have benefits that sole props and individuals do not have. All types of benefits, not just including tax benefits. But prime example for this, when you work a job and you get a W-2, you go to work, right? How many of you guys have a job? Okay, you go to work, you clock in, or your salary, woohoo, that's like glorified, like work forever. Once you hit salary, it's like, well, yeah, she could do 90 hours. What? She's salary. Okay, so let's say you work a job, you go to work, and you clock in, you work your hours, you get a check. Your check comes, right? You did 40, let's say you did 80 hours. Boom, yes. The top says gross $2,000. Okay, let's go. No, you're not going anywhere. Why? Because now the federal government needs their money. Give me that. And then the state needs their money. Give me that. And some city and counties, yes, even then, give me that. We're not done. Now you got Social Security coming out of there. What? Are you serious? Yes. And anything else that's coming out of your check. So now you go from $2,000 to $975. You done made $975. So you take that $975 and you try to go live your life with it. That's what happens. When you're a business owner, you keep the whole $2,000 of whatever you made. So that's income coming in. You can pay all of your expenses with that. And then the way you do is when you file your taxes, you write off all your business expenses, which is a whole class I have on tax financial management. That's why business owners are able to leverage more of their money, because they get to use all of it up front, and then they get to write off as much as you want. Now, there are caveats to it, to when you should write off and when you shouldn't, but that's like a whole situation. We're not gonna get into that right now, but that's the benefit of having your own business, okay? A lot of the things that you spend your money on can be a business expense, okay? And so that is coming out as a tax deductible. So now you're not paying taxes. So now we're not paying taxes. Shout out to not paying taxes. You're welcome. Shout out to not paying taxes. You're welcome. Okay? Yeah, so you do want an LLC. I do know this one thing. If you want to apply for grants for your business, LLC, S Corp, C Corp is the best. Just FYI, step topic. So LLC is a business type. Remember this. LLC is a business type. S Corp is not a business type. The corps, the S Corps and the C Corps, those are a tax filing status. Okay? It's not a business entity. I'm really big on verbiage, because when you can explain verbiage, you understand it. Okay? So a LLC is a limited liability company. It's an entity that was formed. It now is a baby that exists in the world. You birthed a baby. You gave it an EIN number, which is basically like a social security number. Okay. You birthed the baby. You gave it an EIN. And then you said, look, IRS. So when you birth the baby and it has an EIN, the IRS says, okay, great, I'm going to tax you like this. When you file for an additional status, which none of you guys should be applying for S Corp status right now, unless you make a substantial revenue source. Unless you make substantial revenue, I say if you're making over like 150,000, we can talk about it a year. If you're not making that, you're wasting money. Okay. If you file for S Corp status. Now, you don't need to do that right now. People talking about all over social media, don't do that to yourself. Okay. So when you file for S Corp, you're basically saying tax me like this. People have been talking about S Corp because can you break this down for you guys? I've broken it down a lot of times. Do you want me to break it down for you? If you want me to, say break it down for me, I'll break it down for you. But just know you're not filing for it. Okay. If someone says break it down, I'll break it down. Okay. Let me see. Maryland, I do know. Okay. I saw that. I saw that. Chesterfield Court said you have to be a minister. No, who told you that? They're wrong. That's not true. You talked to a representative who was incorrect. I am commissioned as a wedding officiant in Chesterfield, and I'm not a minister. So what happened is you called someone who worked at Chesterfield County Clerk's office, and they had the wrong information, which is not uncommon. It happens. People have jobs all the time and don't know how to do them. It's the name of the game. That is incorrect information. You do not have to be a minister. The application for being a wedding officiant is on the website, Secretary of Court of Chesterfield. You print it off, you fill it out, you send it in with a money order of $50, and you get a court date. When the court date comes, you go to the court, stand for the judge. The judge says, okay, you want to be a wedding officiant? Yes. Are you crazy? No. They really want to make sure you're of sound mind. Do you understand what the job entails? Yes. Great. You're welcome. Go marry people. That is it. So, but it's not uncommon. People have wrong information all the time. Okay. Okay, so I'll break it down since you asked. Okay, so S Corp. Okay, so when you file an LLC or any kind of business type, it's an entity. You get taxed a certain way based off your entity. Okay, but then you can go to the IRS and say, hey, tax me like this. That's where you file for a certain tax status. Okay, tax status. And so if you file for S Corp status, so the main thing is when you're a single member LLC, you're going to pay income tax and self-employment tax. Okay. Income tax, I forget, could be about 10%. You look it up, Google it. I don't know what the current rate is. It's a ballpark estimate that. Self-employment tax, I think it's about 15 or 16%, maybe something like that. Let me see. Self-employment tax currently is 15.3%. Okay. All right. So if you're paying 10% and 15.3% tax, you're paying about 25% taxes, right? Oh my gosh, it's a lot. Not really if you file your expense and your deductions the right way. Like, just do your taxes right. Like, be an educated business owner and you're good to go. You don't pay anything unless you want to. You know, we talk about that later, okay? Oh, this funny video. Remind me to tell this video, okay? Remind me to tell you what this video is so funny. Okay, don't forget. See, Vanessa talk about the video. It's so funny, okay? All right, so if you file for S Corp status, what happens is you no longer have to pay self-employment tax. Plus, guys, if you're a notary in any state, your notarial seal fee is not taxable by self-employment tax, which means if you've been paying taxes on that, you've overpaid. 97% of small businesses overpay in taxes because they don't understand it, because you're just focused on your sales and you're not learning the whole business structure, which is not uncommon because you're a single member operator. Okay, so if you are a business and you file for S Corp, okay, so single member LLC is paying self-employment tax and income tax. A LLC with S Corp status is paying income tax and payroll tax. Now, payroll tax is about, I don't know, 10% maybe? Let me see. Payroll tax currently is, no, I don't see it. I gotta look up. So, let me see. 6%. So it's a lot less, okay? So then people say, okay, so the person that you were talking to in the clerk's office, Patricia, gave you the wrong information. Say this with me, Patricia. Patricia, look at me. I love you so much. Say this. I was given the wrong information, okay? This is how you know you were given the wrong information. I am not a minister. I go to church, but I am not a minister. Tamika, TLM Notary Services, is not a minister. We are both wedding officiants through the Chesterfield, Virginia court system, and we are not ministers. The person at the county clerk, they told you wrong. Do what I said. Not far from it, Tamika, relax. Do what I said and don't listen to them, okay? That person just got their job and they have not read their handbook, okay? They did not read their handbook. They just got hired yesterday, okay? All right, so S-Corps, back to this. So S-Corps pay income tax and payroll tax. Payroll tax is 6%. However, the sun's going down, okay? However, guess what? If you're paying payroll tax, what does that mean, guys? You now have to run payroll. And in your mind, you're probably thinking, I can run payroll. No, you don't want to do that. First of all, if you're a single member LLC, you don't pay yourself. So if any of you guys have a single member LLC and you're currently on payroll with your bank or ADP, they're taking your money and they know it and they don't care because it's America and it's capitalism and they're greedy. You cannot legally pay yourself as a single member LLC. It does not exist. You made it up. It was a joke. If you are a single member LLC, all you do is pull money from your account. It's called an owner's equity draw. That is it. You're welcome. Good night. If you file for S-Corp status, you now have to run payroll. Now, you can run it through your bank, through a payroll provider. You can do through ADP, all these companies. But guess what? They want to get paid too. So now you're running payroll. You have to pay the provider that's running payroll for you. So now you're paying a payroll service. Stay with me. You're paying a payroll service. You're now paying taxes. You're welcome. What? Yeah, you're welcome. You just mix up an employee of your own company. Guess what? You're now paying taxes. You're welcome. So now you're paying, you're paying ADP. You paying taxes because now you a W-2. So now you out here paying federal, state, local, Social Security, Medicare. Now you're paying that. And then your state is going to charge you. So the state has payroll taxes. Like they hitting you from all angles. The IRS said, come here. The state said, come here. Like now you're getting ate up because you saw somebody on Instagram say file for S-Corp status. Stop. Are there benefits to filing for S-Corp status? Absolutely. Let me explain it. You ready? If you are a large enough company that you're making substantial revenue, that you're running payroll because you have staff, Okay. Let's say the average staff, you're paying $30,000, $40,000 a year. So you're paying two people $30,000 to $40,000 a year. The money that you pay said people is a tax deduction. So yes, you paid a little bit to the state, federal, these things. It's not going to be more than what you paid them. You paid them $80,000. So that $80,000 is now a tax deduction, right? So what happens is the companies that make more money, is to their benefit to have staff and try to write off thousands of dollars at a time, because you're bringing down that taxable income by thousands at a time. You see what I'm saying? But if you're the only one on payroll, you see what I'm saying? What are we doing here? Stop. Cut it out. Stop it. Okay? Please don't do that. Please don't. There are benefits to S Corp, but my thing is, if you're not, I always said you should be making at least $250, $300 before you go S Corp. I've seen people say at least $150. To each their own. At the end of the day, you got to break that calculator out and count how much money you're going to pay federal, state, county, Social Security, Medicare, and then how much you paying ADP, and then how much you paying your state and the IRS. Because guess what? The IRS gonna hit you too. Because the IRS said, hold on now, we gotta hit you with the payroll tax. The state will hit you with the payroll tax. Then you're hitting all these taxes. What is it? What does it break down? Is it better to just be a single member LLC, pay your income and your self-employment, but guess what? You can write everything off and bring your bottom line down to zero if you wanted to. In most cases, don't say I told you so, but you could. Now, if you're trying to buy a house, don't do that, because you need to have taxable income. If you're trying to qualify for a mortgage, if you wanted to do that, just keep that in mind. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Okay. But yes, that's the main thing. Don't file for S Corp status until you talk to me. Okay. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So that is all. So the clock on the wall. I hope you guys learned a lot. I would love for you guys to stay connected with me. If this is your first time on my training, definitely go to notarytonotary.com, get into the Ultimate Notary Training. That is the courses. That is the foundation to get you started. Built for You program, I put the link in the chat. It does come with all of our courses. So if you're interested in the Built for You program, just get the program. You don't have to get the courses. We're given to you complimentary as a part of the program. I would love to help all of you guys build six-figure notary businesses. Like I said, it's what I do every day. It's my thing. it's my thing. I'm a notary for a living. Okay. That is also Clock on the Wall. Oh, thank you. Now she's taking us to school. I love, and the thing is, like, I understand this. So I heard a quote that said, if you cannot explain a business like to a child, you don't fully understand it. And I've been doing this so long that I can explain anything about this space and make analogies. If you want me to break that down further, I could do that too. Like, I can break down for you why W-2 employees pay the most taxes. Like, if you're a W-2 employee, you pay the most taxes because you don't bring in revenue like a company. So a company creates jobs for the country. A country is only as strong as its economy. And so an individual person only takes care of their household. A company takes care of the country because they're adding value to the country. When you get your check, where do you go? To your household. When a company is in business, not only is it providing for its employees, it also is servicing the country with their service, and then they pay taxes. So they have a three-way give back. They're giving back to their employees, they're giving to this country for services they're providing, and then they're also giving to the government. So they have three ways they're giving back out. When you're an employee, you're just taking to your home. So because you're not adding as much value to the country, you pay the most in taxes. And it literally goes up like that. The higher the business, the bigger the business, the less they pay in taxes, because they're giving more back to the country. And the country is only as strong as its economy, which is why all of our tax laws are written to benefit businesses. And that's what I was going to tell you guys, not to get political, but there is a gentleman, I don't know the politics, who was on a political debate, and you guys know who I'm talking about. And he even said, they were saying, well, you don't pay taxes. And he said, you're right. And I don't pay taxes because of the way the tax law is written. And you're very well versed on the tax law and how it's written. The tax law is written to benefit large companies that generate revenue. And so when you understand this country is designed to benefit businesses that generate revenue, way more than it's designed to benefit an individual, an employee, because an employee can neither make nor break the country, figuratively speaking, but a business adds value to the country's economy, therefore the country's well-being, therefore the country's livelihood, therefore the country, period. So why would they not benefit businesses? You're welcome. In your wrong course on your website, do you demonstrate how to do an acknowledgement jurat? I'm on Notary and starting this freezing when I go to part of the process. It's inside the Notary Signing Agent course. So I go over how to complete the documents inside there. There may be a couple sample ones in the e-Notary course, but it's in the Notary Signing Agent that has general notary work and loan closing and shows you how to complete acknowledgements and jurats. Notarize also has a sample section you can get into and practice around with it. I also do practice e-Notary sessions that you can book with me if you want to do a practice one together. So the e-Notary book does not show you how to complete an acknowledgement or jurat. Like I said, you can go through the Notary Signing Agent course, or you can book an e-Notary session with me if you want to see how to complete them if you've never done them before. Same way you do it on paper. If you're asking like the technicalities of using the platform, Notarize does now call Proof, does have a practice room you can get in and kind of play around with it until you get it right. If you want, you can complete one, screenshot it, email it to me. I'll tell you if it's right. You can do that. All right, guys. That is also the clock on the wall officially. I am done breaking things down for today. I love you guys. Be great on purpose. Until next time, happy signing and all that good stuff. And I'm glad I was able to share Crystal's story with you guys. Yeah, $1,000 in a day. She did it yesterday. She made $1,000 yesterday. But her average is about $500 to $1,000 a day, which is what I did when I was doing it full time. I always said $500 to $1,000 a day. 5 to 10 closings a day, $500,000 a day. And anyone can do that. It's just about learning how to do it, getting in the business. What will you be doing tomorrow? Are you going to a job that you hate? Or are you going to get into the program and build your business? You know, it's all about choices. Like you can keep doing, and guess what? If you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, it's called insanity. Einstein said that. If you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, it's called insanity. That's what it's called. You're welcome. Okay. But anywho, I love you guys. You're great on purpose. Until next time, happy signing. I like it. And I will talk to you guys luego.
Interested in working remotely from home with the ability to set your own schedule? Then contact Notary to Notary. Our online training program teaches individuals everywhere how to create and run successful notary businesses nationwide. Whether you're looking for supplemental or full-time income, we'll teach you the benefits of being a business owner, including time and financial freedom. Visit notarytonotary.com to learn more about our training program.
Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did.